Right now in my testing rig, we have a New Tone branded deluxe ceiling fan from 1981. But I now have a Heritage ceiling fan to test. And it's probably not going to be very good, but I'm going to replace the ceiling fan. First thing I'm going to do, I am going to replace that control because I am done with this control for a little bit. I'm just going to adjust the tripod here. I'm going to turn off the power so I don't get zapped. Now I'll turn on that fluorescent light, because that's not part of the circuit that I'm working on here. So let's see here. That's a little close for my preference. We'll go with that. So I'm going to put the regular switch back because, or whatever that thing went, it's right here. I'm going to put this thing back and I'm going to change the wall plate back to this one. It's a nice ripped wall plate from the 60s, I think. I'm just going to move the tripod so I have more room to work with. And yeah, I think we're going to go with that. I'm going to take out the variable speed control because we're done with that for now. Who knows, I might get a 36-inch industrial ceiling fan and put that in. Or you know what? Would it be a wiser decision to just take the shades off of the fan first? I tend to think probably so. This light right here is just not very good for this camera, unfortunately. Well, I'm gonna turn off the fan for now because we don't need that going. I'm gonna take the shades and the bulbs off of the fan first because I'm gonna take this thing down for now. I think I'm gonna keep the blades on it still because I'm not really done using this, but it has to come down so I can put the Heritage up. And this fan right here is gonna spend probably the rest of my high school life, if not my life in college, in the bedroom here. This is a really nice ceiling fan. And now we're going to take these shades off, but I'm going to keep the rest of the fan assembled. Really, the only thing I'm concerned about breaking is these shades right here. Some point while I'm not super busy with school and work and all that stuff, I think Wednesday I might actually put this fan up. Although I'm not really loving that rubber grommet mounting system, I'm going to do a better one. Probably one that Dan Spiffy Newman suggests. Dan Spiffy Newman has a video about what mounting system you should use for these J-hook fans. And I mean, you could also use a ball socket, but this has a bell canopy. If this had a ball and socket canopy, I would probably just convert to a ball socket, but I just want to use the bell canopy because I haven't seen very many vintage bell canopy fans in my lifetime. They were probably common back in the 80s. In fact, I think that's what they all had, but nowadays they're not very common anymore because people just throw away stuff now. So yeah, who knows how many thousands of these bell canopy fans are in a landfill somewhere. All right, so Now let's adjust the tripod here. This tripod is a super cheesy one that I got from Walmart, and it's like you have to rig it a bunch of times, and it all is just a lot more difficult. Actually, yeah, I think this is the angle I'm gonna go with the camera for the rest of the video. Okay. Let's see, what is the best camera angle? I think that would be the best camera angle. I'm gonna, well, duh, that's not one of the connections with box. I'm gonna take off all these wire caps off. Actually, you know what? I'm just gonna turn off the power because I realized one of the connections here is not, it's just live with the from the junction box. It's not anything to do with the switch because the light has to be separate from the fan. So we'll just unscrew all these wire caps. We'll do it we'll play safe and not do it with the power on. Okay. Here we go. All right, so now we got the fan unwired. Let's take it down. Okay, I hope that chair will work for this thing. All right. Now we'll just have to figure out somewhere to put this thing so it doesn't get damaged. Because it would be a real shame if this fan broke. Every part of this is valuable. Okay, well, I'm not really loving that, honestly. I'm gonna go get it. I don't want to leave this on the floor either. Actually, I guess it's sturdy enough. I'm just a little concerned that this could rip the chair. I don't think it'll rip the chair at all. But I just don't like having ceiling fans on the floor because it's a bunch of disasters waiting to happen. Oh, we'll also reuse this J-hook for the mounting system as well because I don't have any of those EnviroFan Easy Mount adapters. And those are ridiculously overpriced. They're like $14 a hook. Think I'm gonna pay $14 just to use a J-hook? Man, no chance on that. That is crazy. But I think there's also some other J-hooks on Amazon that are more like $3 a piece, which is a lot more reasonable, but I don't know if that would be able to hold the weight of the fan because, man, potentially having a fan fall down is a serious matter of health and safety. All right, well, now we have at least a nice big hole to put the screw in a J-hook now. See here, now we'll get into the switch now that we have no fan in the way. Sorry guys, my mom had to talk to me for a little bit, but now back to the video. We're gonna take this, I'm just making sure it's unplugged because I don't want any unpleasant surprises going on. We're going to take out these 4 screws here that hold the wall plate in. And we're only going to use 3 of the 4 screws when we put the other plate on, because there's only 3 screw holes, because it was, from the factory, it was intended to have a switch and an outlet. Let's see. Let's place it over here where the other plate is. And let's see here. These screws here. Yeah, one of them is stripped out. I forgot about that, but back then when I put this in, I wasn't super concerned about the screw head being stripped. I just worked with what, yeah, I thought would work. I hope this doesn't just take forever. Yeah, the switch I'm putting back in is probably a lot thinner than what the this control is. This control takes so much space in the electrical box, it's not even funny. You need a deep electrical box for one of these things, and even with that, it's still not ideal. Okay. We take this apart, and now we're gonna get the other wire. All right. There we go. And I'll keep these wire nuts for another project, probably. All right, so let's see here. What's the strip gauge on this? Does it even have a guide? Nope. Unless if this would be it, the Made in Mexico symbol. Yeah, I got a okay. All right. Gotta trim a little bit of this insulation off. All right, well, that should be plenty of insulation stripped now. Now we just have to make these into hooks. So this wire here is the feed wire. These 2 wires go to the ceiling. So I'm gonna have to get a needle nose pliers so I can bend those wires. I got something, it's probably not the ideal tool. I don't know if that'll work, but let's hope that this okay, let's hope that this will work. So this would be, so going off of this screw terminal here would be the feed. These 2 are for the ceiling. So for the switch right here, the bottom one, I'm gonna have the black wire go to, because I think that the black wire going into the screw would make more sense. I mean, that's what you see most of the time anyway. If a ceiling fan has this kind of switch, you usually see the fan. Actually, that's not the top of the switch. I want it at the bottom of the switch. That's what happens when I'm off of work. I make silly mistakes. Okay. Why is this not screwing in? I hope the threads aren't ruined. That would be a real shame. Okay, that's... There we go, that should be tight enough. And we'll do the... Now this screw will go on the top. For the light, the red is going to be for the light. The fan I'm going to have, I'm going to put up here, has no light, so that doesn't make a difference if we connect this or not, but because I don't like keeping getting into this box, and then I just connect that light wire. And now we'll do the same thing here for the feed. This is not a proper fit screwdriver. I should get one that's a better fit. Okay. Now we're going to get these wires pushed into the box here. And we'll get the screws. Actually, I should look for a screw that is not stripped out, because I should not be having to work with these stripped screws. Actually, I think I should have used this screwdriver. This screwdriver is working a little better. Or not. I think these screws are just... should get replaced at this point, because they're really getting stripped out. But I just don't feel like looking through my screw drawer right now. I just don't want to risk breaking anything. Okay. Let's see if this screwdriver will work. It's working better for this screw because this is not broken. I mean, it's sort of broken, but it's not as bad as the other screw. I probably would still use this one, but when I'm not in a time crunch, I will look for a screw that is in better condition than this one, because this is really going. Okay, let's see. Am I still recording? Yeah, I'm still recording. Okay, we're almost done. Okay, well, let's see here. Will plate fit? We'll just go with it, because if we can only get one screw in, that's fine. This is not, we're not building a house, okay? Yeah, this is a diagonal. That's gonna drive me nuts, because it could crack the bakelite. Because these plates right here, I've been told, are made of bakelite. And that's a pretty brittle material, especially if they get this old. You really got to be careful tightening the screws. Because bakelite deteriorates or becomes brittle over time. So you gotta make sure you're being careful with them. All right. Got the new switch in place. Let's see here. Let's zoom out a little bit. Okay, so I'm gonna transport the tripod over to the table. All right, well, I got the tripod to a somewhat decent angle here. And now I'm going to put the screws for the blades on. Could improve on the bit, I think. Nope, with this screwdriver, the first time would be the most suitable option for this particular scenario. I have the manual right here. I haven't really assembled any stamped irons before. I'm just gonna... Okay, the nuts will have these washers here. And I know it should have... Okay, yeah, let's use the snap driver here as well. So, what we have here, we have these blades. Back in the good times. When... I mean, this is from 1999, so these blades were starting to go out of fashion by then, but still back in the 90s when stencil and cane blades were a thing. Okay, I really do not want to stir up these threads. Now we'll put these bolts here. Honestly, given the fact that I'll just zoom out a little bit so you guys can see. That way I don't have to... Actually, probably I should do a 0.7. And the bolt just dropped on the floor, but thankfully I just found it. It's not escaping me. All right. All right. I'll just tighten these up. That one's good and tight. That one's good and tight. This one's right here. Now it's not good and tight. I don't want these to get scratched, so we'll just... Actually, I'm gonna have to take the motor out from this, so... Oh, okay. Well, look, now the paper things now have stencil on them, too. That's weird. I've never seen that before. I mean, I remember just a year ago, I had probably like just one stencil blade ceiling fan in my collection. Now I'm finding them pretty easily now. I mean, I'm going widespread for thrifting and stuff, which is honestly fun. I mean, 16 years old it's a really fun age to get your license, get a job, to actually get to use your life wisely. I mean, 16 right here is a fun age. But you also get more responsibilities, which I don't think are a bad thing at all. I think they're really a good thing because they'll help you become an adult when you're older. Yeah, I wish the irons themselves were threaded. Alright, now we got those mostly tightened up a little bit. Now we'll tighten them. I mean, I'm not going to go too much because you shouldn't tighten them too much because you could split the fan blades. You don't want that. Not that they're not that they're going to be super obvious when this is on the ceiling, but still, it's better not to split them because I just don't like ruining anything. Okay, where did the other brackets go? That's weird. Where did the other brackets go? Well, I guess they just wanted to grow legs and just leave me and not get this fan assembled, but oh, they're right here. Duh. Yeah, still recording. I really like this new camera because it has a lot more storage space than what the other camera had. The other camera was just trash. It could not handle a bunch of storage. It was just not a very efficient camera, really. But I'm glad that I finally got the money to afford a new one. It made made these videos appear more professional. Now the next thing I gotta get is a tripod. Those you can just get at a thrift store for real cheap. I just been saving money for fans because that's my passion. All right. Yeah, that's firm. Really, what matters with these blades, I mean, you just have them firm. That's really all the tightening that you should do with these. You shouldn't just tighten them like as tight as they'll go, because you could strip the screws out, which is a pain in the butt and will waste you some money. Not that it costs all that much to replace screws. In fact, probably per screw under $1, but still. I mean, these do come with an extra screw, so in case you drop one or something goes wrong, you really you do have a backup, you know, but you don't have all the screws in the world to do it, because the world would run out of material by then, and screws could get expensive, and just a bunch of nonsense that does not need to happen. Alright, I need to get a washer there because you don't want to split the blades, and it's just not any fun. But this is the last blade here that we have to assemble. Honestly, I think that my hands are not starting to have a grip now. Yeah, that's good and tight. All right, we're done with the screws of the blades. Now we're going to focus on the motor. So, if I remember correctly, the blade, or the mounting bracket, is attached within the canopy. You have to get the motor out first, though. But I think that is the case. Yep, I was correct. Or my memory was correct. The canopy is attached to the mounting bracket. I kind of like that design of the canopy being within the mounting bracket because you know, it's like a dime of getting these screws off from the on the floor or whatever, or on the desk or something, but on the ceiling, they're such a nuisance. So that does to motivate you to get the screws off. Okay, now we got the mounting bracket, and we have the clampy right here. Save these screws because actually I'm just gonna hide them in my pants pocket for now. I like these pair of pants I wore at work today. You can really have a lot of stuff in there. I'm gonna make sure I do not leave that box on the floor because this is a really cool box. All right. Okay. Twist tie here. Oh wow, these leads are not very long at all. And they're very small wires as well. Oh yeah, and this thing right here, that's on kind of loose. So yeah, Heritage right here, I think we all got a good lesson in that. Heritage is not the best ceiling fan brand in the world. Okay, here's the rod right here. Even 1999, they still had the plastic ball pin nonsense. Alright, so yeah, that's all that the fan hangs. On top of that, this is loose. I'm not really loving that design. In the future, I may very well just replace that bracket with a generic one because I really don't like these, just the flat plate brackets, because they're just such nonsense. Alright, I'll get these in the rod here. And we shouldn't have much trouble getting these in because they're very small wires. And I was correct. Not much trouble, however, getting that pin is going to be fun. Because this plastic thing is not glued or anything. Okay, and now we have this. All right. Get these tightened. I mean, that paper thing, it does have a useful feature. It saves the screws from getting stripped. Okay, that's a little crooked. Yeah, it's a little crooked. We could do better than that. Much better. Well, this is what the fan's going to look like once it's on the ceiling. I'll admit, this is a really nice spinner style fan. Alright. And I'll get these screws taken down now just so we don't have to deal with them once they're on the ceiling. And because it's a nuisance getting these off the ceiling. I'm so sorry, I just got interrupted again, but it was just me taking out the screws and that's it. So yeah, not a whole lot of interesting footage, like at all. I'm pretty sure no one wants to see me, yeah, just so that doesn't roll off the table. I just put that screwdriver there, but. All right, now that should be done with the assembly part. Now I'm going to flip the camera around again. Hope that'll be the last time I do it because, yeah, this tripod's always been weird and such. I mean, if I have a good camera, I should really get a good tripod because I can now afford stuff, not to brag. So now let's get into the electrical box here. Okay, let's see. I think we can. All right, so okay, do I want the light on or off? Which one's better for the video quality? Okay, here's the light off. I think it's probably the same, but I'm just gonna do it with the. It's kind of a little hard to decide on the video which one would be better. Let's do a light off. I think the light off looks better. Okay, so these wires here are supposed to go through the hole. Okay. There's one screw in. Now we'll do the other. In 1999, I really thought they would have put the 832 screws because back then they were standard. Okay, where is my screwdriver? I'm not joking this time. Where did I put it? Let's see if this will work. That's not ideal. Let's get a different one. Let's use this pink one. I find this pink one works really well for a screwdriver. Yeah, that's good and strong. At the very least for this fan. Okay, let's zoom out a little bit. Okay, I think that will be sufficient. I'll go get the fan motor. Okay, let's see here. I'm not really loving that mounting system too much. Well, I could have just not thread that wire through. I could have just... Alright, well, since I did, in fact, thread through the ground wire, we'll just put these grounds together. Yeah, this is definitely not my favorite mounting system ever. I always have a fear that this is going to fall through the ceiling. I don't know why. I probably just don't trust reality. But, I mean, that's kind of a good thing because I do plan stuff ahead in case if something were to go wrong. Now let's get the white wire hooked to the white. Yeah, these are not very long lead wires at all. Let's turn these switches off right here. No reason to. Not that I mean, just for extra safety precautions. Okay, that's good and tight. Now we'll shove that into the box here. All right, then the black, which is the fan, will go with the wire from the ceiling. Then the blue, which is the light. We'll shove that. Yep, that's good and tight. Let's shove that in the box as well. And then this one here, go with the light. That's good. I don't really... This is another reason why I don't really love this mounting system. Let's move the tripod. That might make it maybe just a tad bit easier. There we go. Now I finally got the thread nicer. I'll leave that a little loose because, in all seriousness, something else could... Well, there goes that lock washer. Well, if one lock washer is gone, that's not a problem. They really could have drilled these holes just a little bit bigger. That would make threading the screws in a lot more easy. Yeah, these threads aren't grabbing. I'll move the Vortex aside. Now, that might give me a little extra room here. Okay, why is the thread not grabbing? Seriously. Why isn't it not grabbing? Well, maybe it finally grabbed now. All right. Okay, it's in that notch. I'm gonna do a continuity test in case if this will ever, if it should ever turn into Heritage ceiling fan blows up. I really hope this. Okay, we've got no continuity on hot and ground. No continuity on hot and neutral. Looks like we're good. Oh man. That bearing noise is obnoxiously loud. Spin down time's not the greatest either. All right, well, now let's get the blades together. Or the blades on the motor, rather. All right. Now let's get these blades on the motor so we can finally have a nice, it's a cheap fan, but at least it looks nice. Actually, I think I did go to an antique store that actually had these fans in it. It's honestly why I'm willing to pay this much. I honestly just got the thought now. Or maybe these, or maybe they were 42-inch fans. I don't know. I think they were 42s. So I think these were sold in two different sizes, 46 and 42. I don't get it. Why do they sell them in those two sizes? Because 42 and 40 and 36 are not, they're not that much different. It's like a 6-inch difference. So it's honestly kind of negligible. Yeah, that certainly will clear the Casablanca ceiling fan I have. Okay, and we'll give these a good tightening in. All right. Yep. Now I'll get the other two blades. All right, let's get the last two blades up. I think I am going to add a light kit to this. These just don't look right without one. I bet these were much cheaper than a Littleton back in the day. It looks like a nice ceiling fan, I'll admit that. But at the same time, it's so cheap. It doesn't even have a light. And honestly, I don't know why. Because in the box, I mean, if you watch my unboxing video, there was a clear opening for the for a light shade to go. So that's really wasting some material. Yeah, even in 1999 when this was made, people still were cutting corners like that. This is as cheap as a ceiling fan should have ever gotten. But it does look beautiful, I'll admit that. Alright, now I'm just gonna give these one last turn just so they... I mean, this fan's probably not going to be very quiet either. I'm just giving them one more turn. Okay. Alright, let's see how this goes. Alright, this is high. Oh wow, it's wobbly right out of the box. Look at that. This is wobbly right out of the box. And the blade clock is just so out of whack. Actually, it's not too bad. I'm kind of exaggerating, but the motor is so light that even the slightest wobble would be a pretty big one. Or maybe the motor is just not made right. All right, medium. Yeah, that noise is a little annoying, but in all seriousness, once I have a fan going, it really won't be audible. Yeah, this is not the best air mover ever. This is... because of that ring right there, it's going to be really hard to replace the bearings in this fan. And now low. I might just spray a little WD-40 in here, because I don't want to replace the bearings, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to spray some WD-40. So this is the low speed right now. There's not really much of a variant in these speeds, honestly. And now off. I'll show you guys spin down time, even though that's kind of a waste of time. I'm pretty sure someone in the comments is gonna say, do the spin down time so you can see how bad the bearings are. But the bearings are just a little noisy. You know what? Because here, this seems like this is a really cheap fan. They could have been noisy right out of the box. Yeah, that's not correct. Let's see how the reverse does. It works. I'm not gonna show you guys the speed of them because it's just because it's same thing but within the other direction. All right, well, that's gonna have to wrap up this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this installation. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.